Hi folks, I have the front hub assembly removed, and in my case it's a Saturn Vue, and I already removed the old bearing. It gave up its life. The bearing itself became really loud and noisy, and it started getting to the dangerous point, so I removed the bearing and I have the new one, and I wanted to give everybody just a little sneak peek preview of how it goes back together. It's really simple. First off is that you want to make sure all the surfaces here are clean, so when the bearing does go back in, the flat surface to flat surface are actually come into contact flatly. So it's real simple. In this particular one, there's 3 holes, 1, 2, 3, and it's the actual bolts that hold them in place. They come up from the back side of this unit here, go through here like so. So basically all as I'm going to do here is line up. There's no particular way, as long as the holes, these 3 holes here, line up with these 3 holes here, it's good to go. So well, that's about the size of it, folks. It's pretty self-explanatory. Now when you're going to tighten these up, tighten them in a sequence that is going to give it a good balance. And look online for your specifications, your torque specifications, to torque the bolts down up to the bearing, to make sure you're not under loose or over tightened. You don't want one of these snapping because you're over tightened, snapping going down the road, and only with 2 of them there. So make sure you use the right torque specs, and you have yourself a new bearing installed, ready to place back onto the vehicle. This is how I chose to do mine. I chose to remove this whole unit because I don't have any specialized tools to remove the bearing, the old bearing, so I did it the old-fashioned way with just a heavy hammer. It doesn't really matter. I just beat the back of it until it came out. It's actually not in there all that tight. For the most part of the tightness is just the corrosion between the aluminum and the steel, and once that corrosion breaks free, it basically comes out pretty easy. So the damage that's done back behind the bearing, it doesn't matter because this goes to the recycle yard anyway as scrap steel. So now the new bearing is back in its place. I myself have to find out the torque specs before I can actually tighten these up, but everybody got the idea of how it's done, and that's really all there is to it. New wheel bearing, waiting to go back on the vehicle and be nice and quiet and smooth again. Thank you for watching, folks. Subscribe if you have not, and thank you very much for those that have.